Pranayama and Charging the Vital Magnetic Body. My friends, welcome back. This is an addition to the Vital Knowledge series. This is really potent information about prana, the pranic body, and how this influences and interrelates to the nervous system. So we're going to be diving into the nervous system to breath control and how this influences, charges, and regenerates essentially our physical body and our energetic body. Again, my friends, really potent information. We're just going to have a raw talk here on pranayama and kind of my exploration and, experiences here. So welcome back to Reality Files. I'm Christian, and if you guys want to get the Breathwork free training guide, which I'll refer to in this video, link in the description for that, as well as the new Breathwork intensive training program for people ready to really commit. We go through a lot of this stuff in it. You can apply for more info also in the link below. Let's do this thing, my friends. Prana is the vital life force. Prana is the vital life force, the energy that permeates all things, the subtle field around us. Pranayama is the process by which the internal pranic store is increased. Pranayama, my friends, is breath control and about getting subtle with the breath control. And through breath control and breath retention, we can actually learn to increase and vitalize the pranic body. You see, this is important, my friends, because there's a system of manifestation that's top down. Oftentimes in the medical system in the West right now, we address disease or ailments or anything from the bottom up. We're looking at the physical body, how can I take this pill to fix my liver? But we have to realize that if we go to the pranic field, we learn how to clear the channels, clear the energy channels, and bring our energetic body into its natural or original blueprint. Health and vitality are yours. Higher states of consciousness and activation are yours. We must learn to work with the more subtle forces because the energy, the subtle energy, manifests into the nervous system, right? And the nervous system manifests all the organs, all the different communications in the body, the rate of blood flow, all of it, right? So essentially learning pranayama is gaining the capacity to powerfully influence your nervous system, your state in your body, and also tap into the subtle fields of magic. It is not merely breath control, but a technique through which the quantity of prana in the body is activated to a higher frequency. Breathing is a direct means of absorbing prana, and the manner in which we breathe sets off can set off panic vibrations which influence the entire being. This is just quotes from a Hatha yoga book I've been reading. So, my friends, let's start there. There's multiple ways of absorbing prana, okay? Mainly is breath, sunlight, and food, okay? Breath mainly. Sunlight, getting adequate sunlight every day on your body, right? We absorb prana through the sun. Also eating simple meals that are easy to digest where we can actually absorb that prana. And furthermore, when we eat, most of the prana is being absorbed through the mouth and taste regions. So chewing till completion helps absorb more prana. We're focused on breathing here, my friends. Breath pattern creates thought pattern. How you breathe, right? If we are breathing deep into the diaphragm, right? And we focus our mind on breathing deeply, fully, and subtly, breathing through our whole body. When we focus our mind on breathing, our mind will settle down. You see, prana and mind are intimately interlinked. They're super connected, right? And by breathing deeply, you are accessing a deeper reality. You are accessing a deeper or a higher amplitude of thought waves. Oftentimes, we're trapped in base consciousness. The energy is latent and dormant in the body, right? It's not awakened. We have a shallow breath pattern, which creates a shallow thought pattern. We're often thinking about consumption, busyness, frustration, worry, all these different things. But if we want to access higher states of consciousness, inspiration, intuition, these kinds of things, we start with the breath. The breath is the key to controlling the mind. Don't try to fix the mind with the mind. Go to the breath. Breath pattern creates thought pattern. And breath and mind are the means by which we influence the nervous system our life force and our state of being. Essentially, my friends, through pranayama, through breath control, we can charge and liberate our life force. Life force is potential. We have this much life force, this much potential, right? But if that potential is trapped inside the body in base states of consciousness, right, we feel bound, we feel chained. But through pranayama, we can liberate that energy back into potential, back into the unmanifest, where we can therefore move with responsibility and power, right? Freedom. So, prana in mind, let's dive into this before we dive into the pranic body, my friends. If you're here with me this far, just bear with me. There's going to be a lot of gems in here. Hit that like button and drop your comments as they come up. I will make more videos. So prana and mind are intimately interlinked. Control the prana to control the mind. The mind is usually like a monkey, a wild monkey catapulting through the jungle. This is like a Taoist proverb. Stop trying to fix it and just let it be. Let the mind be and instead focus the mind on the prana, on the breath, on the autonomic nervous system or functions of the body that are usually unconscious, like the heart rate, like the digestion, like the breath. We can bring those into consciousness, and by focusing our mind will slowly become one-pointed, right, and supercharged. When the nervous system impulses become steady and rhythmic, the mind will also become steady and rhythmic. Here's the thing, my friends, because we don't practice pranayama, we're out of whack with our mind, our feelings, which cause emotion, right, and our body. Our body's tight. We're feeling weird ways because the nervous system's out of whack, firing at these nervous impulses at sporadic, basically sporadically. And then the mind is having sporadic thought after sporadic thought after sporadic thought. We are not deeply connected nor engaged with reality. But by breathing and bringing the nervous system under conscious control, right, you can settle the body into homeostasis. And through settling the body into homeostasis and focusing the mind and the body will harmonize. You see, my friends, in the last video, the last vital knowledge video, we discussed something that is very important, and it has to do with disease is disharmony. When we have disharmony, out of whack frequencies happening in the organs, in the nervous system, in the mind, there will be disease. Harmony is vitality. Harmony with the microcosm of your body, with the macrocosm, is ultimate health, right? So through this breathing process, we can charge, clear, and reharmonize. So pranayama. Oftentimes people mistake pranayama for, breathing, but it's actually about expanding the level of breath retention and learning to breathe in the most subtle ways, lengthening the breath restraint and learning the subtle breath control. This is what the master yogis focus on, right? By becoming aware of the nature of breath and restraining it, the whole system becomes controlled. When you retain the breath, you are stopping nervous impulses in different parts of the body and harmonizing the brain wave patterns. In pranayama, it is the duration of breath retention which has to be increased. The longer the breath is held, the greater the gap between nervous impulses and the responses in the brain. When retention is held for a prolonged period, mental agitation is curtailed. Like Patanjali, this yogic saint, prophet basically, said that pranayama is the gap between inhalation and exhalation, and the yogis try to reach the breathless state. The breathless state is one where when we inhale, we are in the process of absorbing, right? When we hold the breath at the top, we can learn actually the subtle mechanism of flowing the prana through us. This is the assimilation, samana. Okay, we're going to go to the pranic body and discuss this in a second. The assimilation of prana happens when we control the breath, right? When we hold the breath and allow chi to cycle and basically be compressed into the body, right? That is the assimilation process. And the breathless state is by getting more and more subtle, by taking a longer inhale, holding longer, exhaling longer, holding the out-breath and emptiness longer, by controlling the breath and breathing into new places in the body, right? Essentially, we will get to this state where we can learn how to discern and move the vital magnetic fields, or the pranic channels, called the nadis in yogic philosophy. We can learn how to move that prana without the process of breathing. The physical process of breathing actually takes prana. Okay, let's actually start there. I want to discuss how prana is used and lost. Thoughts, emotions, right? All drain your charge in your body. Okay, doing things. The more focused we are on the external world, the more prana it demands. This is why living in cities is really hard on the vital magnetism of man. Living in cities, right? There's less prana naturally in the air, right? We live at a faster rate. We breathe shallower. We're much more busy and focused on the external world. Therefore, we're using a lot more life force, right? Without charging the same amount. So we're at a massive deficit. Okay. So all things take prana. The only way to charge prana is by bringing the mind inward, controlling the mind and emotion through breath, right? And basically reorienting the frequency of the whole being. This is the key, my friends. If we want to do magic, if we want to regenerate or heal, if we want to make transformation in our life in any way, we must build up charge. We must build up personal power to affect change. If we have low charge, we have very little capacity to affect change, right? So lastly, by focusing on the breath, one can still the mind, develop mental one-pointedness, and access deeper states of consciousness. Deeper states of consciousness, the gateway is prana. Okay. So the pranic body, my friends, we have a physical body and then we have an energetic or life force body. In the yogic tradition or system, which we'll talk about, and we'll talk a little bit about the Taoist system as well. Okay. We inhale, we breathe in. Okay. Prana is absorbed in the lungs. If we look at a chart of man, I don't know if I have a good graphic right now, but most of the blood in the body is in the lungs, in the heart, right, and in the head. Most of the blood, and in the sexual organs. So we are breathing in and oxygenating and pranifying the blood. Prana is absorbed through the lungs, but prana is assimilated through samana, right, which is in basically the solar plexus region. I want to bring our attention to the solar plexus region, to this area of our body, okay? Because the intestines, the solar plexus area, is literally the battery of the physical body, okay? There's 3 main storehouses of prana, but there's different types of prana that are being stored. The physical prana, the thing that vitalizes and generates health in the body, is stored in that lower dantian, that solar plexus, that abdominal region where samana is assimilated, right? And this is actually the most important center and process in the yogic tradition. We'll talk about that in a second. The other center is the heart center. You can actually go watch a whole video on this called Esoteric Anatomy of Man, the 3 centers, I believe. So the heart center is kind of the center of spiritual life, actually. Okay, that's where the prana is stored for, the soul expression, the soul sensations. And then the head center, prana is stored up there in those plexuses. Okay, and that prana is essentially for the mental body. I want to talk about the solar plexus quick here and how prana is assimilated into the nervous system. So first off, vital energy body. Okay, we have a vital energy body. It's like a sheath around us. And the strength of your vital body determines your health, your vitality, the plane of reality in which you exist within, and your power to imprint or influence the reality around you. For instance, just a basic example, people with a strong vital body are able to impress their personality on the world and often become prominent in life. Those with a weak vital magnetic body do not have the energy to accomplish much. I would say toxic or bad, negative things happen to them because their field is not strong to repel, right? And they usually remain in subordinate positions. The great thing, my friends, is you have control of the charge of your vital magnetic body. Okay, you can start reprogramming it, and by reprogramming your vital magnetism through breath control and willpower, Okay, by reprogramming your vital magnetism, you literally reprogram your reality. Your physical body can completely transform into the original blueprint, into a new blueprint. We have an original blueprint written into this field in which we exist within, right? We exist within this energetic field of prana, and it's literally holding the memory of everything we've ever thought, felt, acted. It's holding our subconscious mind and our standards, right? Our deep held beliefs. And that field has taken form, it's taken shape, okay? But through breath control and basically undoing things, right? And rewiring the nervous system, rewiring this field, we can reprogram our base state of consciousness. We can reprogram our base vibration and the reality in which we interact with. So much has been said about that in the previous videos, okay? So, getting into the absorption of prana into the nervous system. First off, how deep? Okay. I might even start a new video here, but you are an upside down tree. I want to make a whole video on this. But essentially, my friends, we have the roots into the heavens, right? The heritage of man. Roots into the heavens. If we look at the spinal cord here, if we look at the central nervous system, right? It originated in the pineal gland, the center of consciousness, right? And then the central nervous system manifested downward, manifested down the spine. And then we see all these pathways branching off the nervous system. This is like the branches of a tree. Okay. By focusing the breath, right? As if we're breathing in from the heavens, we're breathing in prana down our spine and into our whole body. We are aligning with our original blueprint. We have this original blueprint of perfect vitality, perfect alignment in the physical body, in the nervous system. And by, basically these misalignments, these negative, traumatic, experiences we hold in the body, the prana doesn't flow right. The nervous system gets out of whack and ailments start occurring. By breathing down the spine and imagining our whole body as this manifestation outward, like a tree branches and its leaves. The whole body is a manifestation outward of prana, okay? So how this works, how this system works, I talked about what I just said there in previous videos a lot. But essentially, my friends, let me get to where it talks about that. Absorption of prana and its manifestation through the channels of the nervous system. I like this little passage I found in this book by Walter Atkins or something. It's on the absorption of vril. The nervous system plays an important part in absorption and transmutation, and that the nervous system ganglia and plexi of the system act as storage batteries or reservoirs of vril or prana, same thing, from which the entire nervous system draws its regular supply. So the ganglia and plexi of the nervous system act as storage batteries and reservoirs for vril. So essentially, my friends, we're breathing in down the spine and manifesting out into the body. And as we're breathing in prana, right, we're storing it in these main plexi centers, right? The prana or subtle energy is stored and then it is transmuted into the nervous system. So by increasing the storehouse of energy we have, we increase the amount of energy the nervous system, supplied to the nervous system, which allows you to feel better, allows you to essentially have more willpower. It's the key, my friends. Okay? The prana reservoirs energize and stimulate the nervous system. Okay, that's kind of what I wanted to get across there. Let's dive into the nervous system. I want to hit on the solar plexus region. Okay, here's an image of essentially the anatomy of man. Okay, and we notice right here in this region, right beneath your rib cage, is all of this nervous, all the nervous system fibers, the ganglia, basically coming into these enormous plexus areas of energy, right in our lower in our abdomen. Okay, we have one right here and one right here. Okay, This is like the sacral center of energy. This is the solar plexus up here. Okay. So, hold up one second. So looking at this, we realize that, wow, so much of our energy, even like consciousness, is in this center. Our consciousness is spread throughout the energetic centers of our body. Our body is our mind. We are not just our brain. Our mind goes throughout our entire body, stored along these special centers, right? The solar plexus, the sacral plexus, the cardiac plexus, the vagus nerve, which carries like the energy to all the plexi, right? So the solar plexus is an autonomic nervous plexus consisting of interconnected ganglia located around the roots of the major abdominal aorta branches. So all the branches coming down from the heart, right? As the tree, which is flowing from above to below, as the tree extends, it's almost like this is where the branches like really start, right here in the solar plexus area. Yogi theory regarding the solar plexus say that this is the great central storehouse of prana, the great central storehouse of prana. In the Taoist system, okay, let's look at that. In the Taoist system, the lower dantian is literally the battery of the body, the only place we can store physical prana, physical chi, right? The lower dantian there. The Manipura Chakra, meaning the city filled with radiant gems, was so named by the sages because of the luminous fire that burns brightly within this powerful nexus of the mind and body. This chakra is known as the Nabhi Padma, or lotus of the navel. Manipura is associated with fire and the power of transformation. It is said to govern digestion and metabolism. It is the home of Samana Vayu, which we talked about a little bit, assimilation. And the energies of prana vayu, which means in-breath or absorption, and apana vayu, which means elimination, right, meet at this point in the balanced system. Okay, this is samana. This is where we assimilate energy in this area of the body. So through diaphragmatic breathing, we are actually breathing air and prana deep into the lower diaphragm consciously. And then we are holding. And through that holding process and the subtleties of it, we are charging and assimilating the prana into the most important energetic centers in the physical body, right? This is the home of the coeliac plexus, or solar plexus, which innervates the digestive system. In the chakra medicine, practitioners work to promote healthier digestion, elimination, pancreas, kidney, and adrenal function. In Chinese medicine, the kidneys, right, are literally like the foundation of the flow of qi in the body. And the flow of qi in the kidneys are ruled by this center. In Chinese medicine, it's called Mingmen. And it's like this, it's a very esoteric energy place where the energy rises from. Okay. So, I could go into the sacral plexus a little bit here, but I really just wanted to show you guys these diagrams and get the point across that we energize the nervous system through the breath, through the prana reservoirs. And by breathing consciously and deeply into the body, we are energizing the nervous system and bringing it into harmony. And by bringing the nervous system under your conscious command, right, we can actually allow the branches of the tree to grow back into alignment. By holding our body and our mind in alignment and consciously breathing prana deeply into the body, practicing pranayama or breath retention. Like I like to start at 5 seconds in, 5-second hold, 5-second out, 5-second hold. Okay. You can go watch my breathwork basic training video. It's like 10 videos back. I discussed that, or get the free training guide. But essentially, by breathing into that lower abdomen, filling up the cradle of our hips, right, and bringing the rhythms of the body all into harmony, the nervous system will automatically start realigning with its original blueprint as long as you give it enough energy. We must energize the nervous system so it can realign. It can shake out traumas. So many people get overzealous in their, I believe, in their attribution, right? There's like, oh, I have a throat chakra blockage and it's rooted in this childhood experience. Sorry, it's getting hot. It's rooted in this childhood experience, or, you know, it's like this color and all these different things. Here's what I want to say to you. We can literally heal, create miracles, transmute all things through the prana and mind over matter, by bringing the mind and breath control deeply into the body, focusing on the subtle channels and revitalizing the nervous system. We can restore order and harmony to the microcosmic body. Okay, and this will, like, if we had a trauma, you know, and it's like enlodged in us right here, so the prana doesn't flow down our spine correctly, so we often feel cut off from our legs and our heart, you know, by breathing through it and tapping into the feeling there, feeling deeply. Wherever we feel deeply, energy flows to, prana flows to. By feeling deeply, unattached, and through like conscious commitment to the breath control, we can start opening up places that have been numb inside of our body, blockages long held inside of the body that are the cause of misalignments. We can go to the chiropractor once a week, every week of our lives, and get the same fucking adjustment, and it will never fix itself unless you learn to rewire the physical body back into its original harmony. Okay, if you can change the flow of energy to a straight line from this, where like energy is only trickling through in a altered, a skewed blueprint, right? When we can realign with that by consciously holding our mind and our body in alignment and restoring the flow of prana correctly into the channels, practicing pranayama. Pranayama goes pretty deep. I'll talk about the basic practice of pranayama here in just a moment. But by practicing that, we can clear the nadis, reharmonize the polarities of the body, liberate life force that is trapped in numb areas, right? And essentially, man, this is the power, my friends. This is the power to access heightened states of consciousness, transformation, charge your personal power and magic, healing, regeneration, activation. My friends, if you're ready to commit to this process inside yourself, I encourage you to apply for a free consult on the Breathwork Intensive Training Program. Learn more about it and get some insight. Link in the description for that. Just, you know, shameless plug there. But okay, to wrap up this video, my friends, so a lot has been said here. Please, you know, drop comments with time codes on parts you found powerful so other people have a little table of contents. But pranayama starts at that just basic breath retention. Hold your mind. It's called even-mindedness, right? Focus your consciousness into the body, and through the breath, harmonize. Breathe deeply and slowly into the lower diaphragm. Hold and pressurize. Allow the feeling of prana and flow to circulate through the body. Assimilate the prana, right? Fully expand the body when you're holding, right? Slowly and subtly exhale, the same count, right? Exhale until you're empty, and then fully relax and hold the breath while you're empty. Okay? Get acquainted with the void. Prana is Shakti. Okay? Okay, I might be diving in a little bit deeper into some esoteric knowledge here. Prana is Shakti, which is all energy, life, power, form of the universe. All energy and power of the universe. Okay? Prana, this is why the holding, breath retention is pranayama. When we hold the inhale, we are holding Shakti, right? But we cannot hold Shakti if we don't have Shiva. Shiva equals consciousness. I think of Shiva as the empty superior self. Shiva is the awareness behind it all. When we exhale and we hold and fully relax, we actually go to a deeper presence. We stop identifying with the seen world. We stop identifying with the physical body, with the lower mind thoughts that are going through the head. We don't identify with the pain or pleasure, all the senses, right? We access the empty superior self on that exhale, okay? And from there, we can witness the body. This is the superpower, my friends. I can't believe I'm going to get into it now. This is the superpower. Because if we cannot just witness the body without identifying it, we cannot allow the body to transform, to reform back into the original blueprint. Because we are still identified, we are still holding on to the body, to the mind, right? So on that exhale, enter into presence, pure presence, the one behind, the seer, the knower, right? Presence. On the inhale, inhale all life, energy, and power of the universe. So we inhale and we feel the energy coursing through us. We feel alive, right? On the exhale, we become present behind it. We no longer attach and identify with the body. My friends, when you master this process and get more and more subtle in your breath control, the deeper you access that presence as no longer identify with this physical body, crazy shit will happen. All of a sudden your body will start transforming before your eyes. You will feel it, but you will not be identified with the feelings of the organs rearranging themselves, with DNA getting upgraded literally, with different things coming online. Our channels, our nadis, our energetic channels through our body are very clogged up. They're out of balance because we are out of harmony. We internally are out of balance. Therefore, the channels inevitably get clogged, just like your arteries are getting clogged. And because our channels are getting clogged, right, slowly disease will manifest into the physical body. Misalignments in our life and our field will manifest into the body, right? By breathing in power and life, by breathing in prana and really holding and burning that flame, right? And then exhaling into presence and witnessing the flow of life through the body, we are gaining control of life force. This is life force control, my friends. This is where the magic is. This is the secrets. Okay. Whatever. Life force control. Essentially, the yogi, the master of this process, through that, intense commitment to this practice, he'll slowly unify Shiva and Shakti until the point where he reaches the breathless state. Once you start harmonizing these two, this is the Merkaba. Okay, this is everything. This is when we start harmonizing those, we are breathing in, right, and witnessing the flow, but holding an expanded awareness, right, breathing into the original vital blueprint, right, and then exhaling, yet holding great charge in the body. It's almost as if we're becoming the sun. Life force control is about becoming the sun, my friends. The sun is inhaling and exhaling simultaneously. It never stops shining its light to inhale some more matter around it, to transmute it, to shine it forth. The sun is constantly drawing in energy to the center of transmutation and shining forth light. This is the process in which man should aspire to. Okay? This is literally the esoteric mysteries. Whether it's the hermetic path you're taking, the yogic path, the tantric path, it's all the same. Okay, this is all the same wisdom. This is all the same knowledge, and unfortunately, not many people are talking about this. Not many people are elucidating this kind of information. But I hope you found elucidation here. Again, my friends, Shakti is prana. Okay, we breathe in Shakti and we hold it. We get more and more subtle with how we cycle, how great our awareness is. We become warriors of perception in the physical body, in the energetic body. Right? Through pranayama, you will start to discern subtle energy from physical energy, from physical sensations. An itch in your body is usually not an actual itch. It's energy moving, and the energy is dense still. It's subtle energy, but it's dense, and it's actually moving your physical body. Okay, so Shakti is prana. There's many different types of prana, 5 different types of prana. Shiva is consciousness. By practicing pranayama, we are working to combine the two, okay? To be fully conscious in the awakened state, the seer, not identified with form, yet dancing with all of form, dancing with all of Shakti, okay? This is combining breathing in to life, right, and power, exhaling into presence. The deeper your breath control becomes, the deeper your command of oneself becomes. If we want to be sovereign, we must learn breath control, or else we will be ruled by a scattered mind, a disharmonious frequency, will be ruled by the effects of past actions. This is the way to liberation, my friends. The way to liberation is through conscious control of the breath and learning to control life force. Life force control is where it's at. This is a really potent video, my friends. I encourage you to watch it multiple times, take notes, drop comments. I want to go deeper in many places here. I appreciate all of you being here. Again, the only way to get this message out there, if you found it powerful and impactful, is share this video somewhere. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. May you breathe deep, my friends. Blessings.